Okay, so I don't usually do this. I always keep it in at discretion, but Richard over here insisted that we should raise more awareness, and he said to put it on my YouTube channel. So what I normally do now is I'll just with Voices Action Change, part of the stuff we do is a big important part about it is reporting, getting like kind of statistics in a way, like and to see common denominators and ask people the questions and just to hear it from their mouth really. And this is what we do. We'll record it and then we'll put it in a report. We'll obviously write it out as well, transcribe it and stuff. But we're gonna do it with you now, right? And this one's just a simple. It's to do with bloodborne viruses, and I'm just gonna start how we would normally and just run with it. Is that alright then?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So first of all, what's your name and what background do you have in services?
My name is Richard Shooter. I'm on a script through the Waddle. About late October, I thought I'd have a BBB test, and to my shock horror, I was tested positive for hepatitis C. At first, it was a bit scary because obviously that 2 weeks of waiting. But as soon as they said it's curable, obviously you got to go along with it. They said tablet every day for 3 months. That's all it is. As long as we eat healthy, there's no pain at all off the medication. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a stigma behind it. The old medication where you had to have a Clexine to thinning out your blood because cruisers used to basically make your blood thicker. But the treatment now is no pain whatsoever.
Did you know that going into it, or have you learned that since?
I've learned that since.
So you were probably apprehensive at first, was you?
Very. I wanted to take my own life and everything.
Really?
Yeah, that's how bad I got. But I'm glad I didn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All clear?
Yeah, all clear. Just had another test now as well. I shall be testing every 3 months now.
Do you think that's what's most important as well? People regular testing?
Yeah, you gotta. If you have an inch of decency for yourself, you put a fag in your mouth, right? Yeah. Why not have a test every 3 months?
For the people to know as well, like what is the test?
The test is basically like a diabetes pinprick to your finger. You bleed out, damp it onto a well. You let it.
The ones you have in prison, is it? Like the paper bits?
The paper bits,
yeah.
Basically, you click a pin to your finger. It's not a big, massive pin. It's just a diabetic spring-loaded pin, which basically it don't hurt. It drops the blood then onto the paper. Within 2 weeks, you know your results.
Oh, happy days.
Yeah, and it's got.
One of the things obviously we're trying to do in the Cardiff and Vale, we're not trying to change the world, but one bit at a time. Is sorry, someone's not doing that. One bit at a time. We want to try and get more testing. There's obviously a stigma around it.
Yeah.
What do you think that stigma is, and how do you think we can encourage more people to get tested?
People just need to be reassured they're not going to be judged for having hepatitis C. That's what they got to realise. That's the stigma of it. They don't like getting judged. It's like people like, it's like me. I was open and honest. It's like as soon as I knew I had it, I went and automatically to the hostel I live in. I told them all. I said, look, if I don't look well, or if you see me get up and clean up after myself, it's because I've contracted hepatitis C. So obviously I got to keep the people you lot safe and myself safe. But the stigma around it is people think that it's to do with drug paraphernalia, but anyone can catch it.
Yeah, so this is an example I want to dive into is when I've said about since working on the Hep C subject, so to speak. Anytime I speak to people about it, even when I invited people to this event, they kind of laugh when I say, if do you want to come to the event? Some people on drugs would get defensive, like, oh no, I ain't got it. Or everyday people would laugh and say, ha, I don't take drugs. So you're saying that people can get it whether you take drugs or not?
Yeah, you can catch it. You can be that 1 in a million that can, like I said, you could be a drop of blood on the table, you could come along, have a cut on your finger, and you don't even recognise yourself because you put your hand down, you can't see that blood going into your hand.
So yeah, and people think it's probably a slim chance. I'll never have it.
Yeah, I thought of that. Look at me. I thought I was Teflon, but unfortunately everything.
Yeah, but then the argument I'm trying to say is that some people who don't take drugs could get it, but yourself though were taking drugs, or weren't you?
I shared a crack pipe.
Never injected. Then it was
Basically through a crack pipe.
so just sharing a crack pipe.
That's it.
So in the same sense, then you can say someone's sharing a bottle of pop.
Yep. I mean, at the end of the pipe I use was a crack on the end. When I put it in my mouth, obviously the person who used it before me, he put it in his mouth. Obviously he must have cut himself in his lip. I put it in mine. Obviously I've got a top teeth.
I count myself so fucking lucky, mate. The amount of crack pipes I used to share,
You know
mate.
what I mean? Like people don't realise how infectious hepatitis C is.
Yeah.
Do you mean that this is why a lot of advice and support needs to be put out there. Well, like out yourself, I want to thank you like for what you're doing. Like the events you've run, for me, can't fault you. Really can't. And like I will be at every event.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, I was trying to say we got someone here gate crashing here.
Yeah. How you keep?
Kieron,
How you keep?
Kieron.
Mate, I'm meant to be making a cup of tea for people 20 bloody
Well,
minutes
this
ago.
Kieron, no, you are. This is a good one. Kieron, this is for my YouTube channel. I don't know if you don't mind coming on here, right? But this is another. No. Can you explain to people your background, like how you got involved in the Hep C Trust? Because we're talking right now about the stigma of it just being drugs when it's not.
It's not just drugs. You know, I need to write it. I don't know. I need to write it and think about it before.
No, this is all off the cuff. If you don't want to say it, it's fine. But you can just say that it's not just drugs, is it?
No, it isn't just drugs, is it? It isn't just drugs. There's lots of different pathways into stuff. Drugs is the main route, to be honest with you.
90% of his drug was that 10% is that 1 in a million of putting your hand on a table when there's blood on it, not realising you can't see the blood because your hand's on top of it.
Well, there's no. Well. Okay, then. Well, here's a scenario. Then, you might not take drugs, but you might be in contact with someone who takes drugs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're having a sexual relationship with someone that could have been taking drugs, or that person may not even be taking drugs, that person may have been to prison previously before, and their cellmate basically shared their toothbrush when they first came in and didn't tell them, and they bled all over their toothbrush. Then that person had it. There's many different ways you can contract bloodborne viruses, and if it's HIV, it doesn't necessarily mean it's because you're a gay man. If it's Hep C, it doesn't necessarily mean because you're an injecting drug user.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they're not the main areas where some of the numbers are coming from, but it certainly doesn't cover everybody, and I think that's where the stigma needs to be changed around stuff.
One of the big ones in prison, I remember, was the Clippers.
Yeah. Because
Yes.
They did.
Yes.
You
There's
know?
1 barber per wing, innit?
Yeah.
Best case scenario, 1 barber per wing.
But I will say that with the Clippers, when the Mr. Wakeham used to do it, Mr. Wakeham's the hairdresser at the time, he used to put it in the blue thing, and he instructed every single wing to have is it?
I can't remember what you call it.
It's
but
like
I know
it's
what
like
you
a
mean. We used to put the
Barbicide.
Yeah.
Is it barbicide?
Yeah. Barbicide.
Yeah, it's the fucking blue.
Safe, yeah, that's the one. But Mr. Wakeham was instructive of every single wing having the barbicide. But if you got a lazy hairdresser on a wing, they'll think, I tell you what, I'll just do this one. That's all it takes.
That's it.
That's how it works.
I know someone who they've been in a tattoo parlour in the UK, not in Cardiff actually, but in the UK, and in the last recent couple of years, and they knocked the door, and there was the tattoo artist was tattooing someone at the time, so has the door locked like a lot of them do. They just knocked the door, came over to unlock the door, didn't take off his black gloves, doing a big back piece. Obviously the person was bleeding loads, went straight to the door and opened the door with his gloves still on. Blood's contraction right there. So it's possible.
Hang on, but what? Did someone get stuff from that?
No, you'd never be able to know in direct.
Yeah.
But no, the person I know who's seen it knows about.
And he's like,
bloodborne
fuck me, this
viruses,
could have
and they
easily
then
been
didn't
something.
get a tattoo there because they thought if that person didn't even think to take their gloves off to do that, what else are they not doing? Do you know what I mean? I've got to go.
Thank you,
make this tea.
Kieron.
I'm
Thank
really
you.
keen. This is it.
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so all right. Well, one more question then, mate. Right? Yeah, basically, what do we have to do? as a city, as a community, yeah, just it'd be
All
great
co-
if we could do everything.
yeah,
But
if-
like for us,
if we
how
could
do
all
we
come
encourage more
together-
people to get tested?
to try and get the message out there, man. If it means, look, I don't mind walking myself with a billboard on. Please get tested.
Dress you up as a syringe or something.
Yeah, dress me up as hepatitis.
No, but that's it. Like because it's knowing that it's treatable.
Yeah,
People
that's-
think it's the
that's
end of the
what we
world. They
know.
bury their head in the sand, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah. That's what makes it always treatable.
Any final words you'd like to say to the people on my YouTube channel? Any people out there?
Hiya guys, we will get this message out there. Just
Yeah.
ways.
Also, there's one thing. Like obviously, I was a heroin addict for over 10 years. I've many times I've seen you in prison. I've seen you on the roads. We've both been in bad places. I've got to be fair, mate. I'm so fucking happy to see where you are, Rich. Like there'd be times where like you can even make a sentence out of you, mate. Walking around with blankets on your head and I'm very proud to see you like this, mate.
Thank you for that.
Actually being involved in the event, making people cups of tea and being respectful and. So
we've all got a good side.
Yeah, of course we are.
Some people you just got to dig deeper into together.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
But
thank you, bro.
that's no problem.
I'm sure there'll be more to come. All right.
Yeah.
Nice one, Rich.
Thank you very much, brother.